Lesson 5. Hey, how are you doing? I'm glad to see you watching this video in which we're going to continue learning how to prepare for the IELTS exam. Just as usual, first try to remember some of the useful tips that you learned from the previous lesson. Think about how they can help you complete different sorts of tasks successfully. So, ready for a new day with IELTS? Let's have one more IELTS preparation lesson then. Listening. What about actions and processes? Do you ever happen to deal with machines or devices? Well, of course you do. It's completely impossible to even imagine the modern world without all of these gadgets and mechanisms that we people use all the time.
Now, let's work with a diagram. Before you do that, have in mind the following. Be ready to label the parts of different mechanisms. For diagram completion tasks, you may need to listen and label the parts of a machine or device. Use prepositions and adverbs explaining movements. When we describe how something works, we often use prepositions or adverbs to explain movement. Use verbs describing how a machine works. Describing how a machine works often involves verbs that you do not commonly use. These are verbs like spin, explode, turn, push, pop, hold, rotate, activate, and others. And now, look at the diagram completion task below. And now, listen and complete the diagram.
Recording 20.
Hello. I've come along to tell you about an invention of mine called the Party Popper machine. Here is a diagram of the machine, and I'll just explain how it works. It's basically a set of interconnected cogs and wheels that rotate in turn and cause a party popper to pop. The process begins with what I like to call the party starter. It's located on the top of the base at the front. I was very fond of wind-up toys when I was young, but sadly I couldn't find a way to attach a winder to this contraption. But I think this big round button looks nice and dramatic, and my children fight over getting to push it. The button activates a small motor that's housed directly under the box at the front. It generates enough power to get everything going, but not so much that it overheats and needs a cooling fan. The legs elevate the base and help with that. The base also has another use, as it can also hold up to 10 spare party poppers, so you never need to worry about running out. Once the motor is running, it turns the spiky wheel that is attached to the loaded party popper. I call this the detonator. As it turns, the string of the party popper slowly wraps around it and is pulled tighter and tighter until it explodes. So much fun!